$1 million. In 1989, that was life-changing money. For most actors, it would have been a no-brainer. Sign the contract, cash the check, show up on set. Robert Duvall said no. The offer was for The Godfather Part 3, a guaranteed cultural event. Francis Ford Coppola didn't just send an email. He drove out to Duvall's 360-acre farm in Virginia. He brought charm, he brought history. According to reports, he even brought Duvall's mother's crab cake recipe, a personal gesture designed to remind Duvall of family, of loyalty, of the old days. It didn't work. Because the moment Duvall did the math, and today on WageView, we are doing that math, the numbers told a story of disrespect. Al Pacino was being offered $5 million for the same film, 5 times what Duvall was offered, for a franchise they had built together. Duvall had created Tom Hagen, the quiet, indispensable consigliere, from the ground up. And now the studio wanted to pay him 1/5 of what they were paying Pacino? Duvall called it what it was: disrespect. He walked. Let's audit the numbers from the very beginning. 1963. Robert Duvall takes a small role in Twilight of Honor. His reported pay? $3,000. That's it. That's the entire check. For a grown man who had spent years in New York studying the Sanford Meisner technique, living on nothing, chasing a craft most people told him he'd never master. But here's what that $3,000 bought: access, a screen credit, a stepping stone. 1 year earlier, 1962, Duvall had appeared in To Kill a Mockingbird as Arthur Boo Radley. Barely a speaking role, almost entirely silent. And yet, that performance stopped people cold. Director Robert Mulligan cast a man who understood that stillness is power. Duvall had no lines, but every eye in the theater followed him. Hollywood noticed. The market rate for Robert Duvall began to climb.
This is the number that surprises everyone. Pull up the salary records for The Godfather, 1972. Robert Duvall earned $36,000 to play Tom Hagen. Al Pacino earned less. Pacino was the newcomer, the risk, the unproven lead. Duvall was the established name. The market reflected that. In 1972, Robert Duvall was the higher-paid actor on what would become the highest-grossing film of its era. The Godfather made $246 million at the box office. It won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. And Duvall, the man who anchored the dramatic logic of the entire family, walked away with $36,000. Let that sit. By part 2, the landscape had shifted. The franchise was now a cultural institution. Duvall's leverage had grown. His reported salary for The Godfather Part 2? $500,000. That's a 1,288% salary increase from Part 1 to Part 2. In financial terms, Duvall timed his negotiating leverage perfectly. He waited until the studio needed him more than he needed them. Then he asked for what the market rate demanded. Then came 1983, Tender Mercies. Duvall plays Max Sledge, a broken country singer trying to rebuild his life. The film is quiet, slow, and devastating. It cost almost nothing to make. Nobody expected it to compete. It won Duvall the Academy Award for Best Actor. In Hollywood, an Oscar doesn't just hang on your wall. It changes your quote. Your quote is industry slang for your standard asking price, the baseline salary your agent demands before negotiations even begin. After Tender Mercies, Duvall's quote entered the multi-million-dollar range. The Academy Award is functionally a market signal. It tells every studio in Hollywood, this asset is now premium priced. Before we finish the audit, if you're finding value in this breakdown, hit subscribe right now. We do a full financial forensics deep dive every single week. The button is right there. Don't leave money on the table. Twilight of Honor, 1963. $3,000. Screen debut. To Kill a Mockingbird, 1962. Scale. Breakthrough role. The Godfather, 1972. $36,000. More than Pacino. The Godfather Part 2, 1974. $500,000. 10 times salary jump. Tender Mercies, 1983. Mid-range. Oscar-winning turn. The Godfather Part 3, 1989. $1 million. Offered. He walked away. So let's return to 1989. Coppola has been at the farm, the crab cake recipe has been deployed, and now the offer is on the table. $1 million. From the outside, this looks like a generous number, but Duvall had done exactly what we do here at WageView. He audited the total picture. Pacino, $5 million. Duvall, $1 million. Same franchise, same iconic era, different value assigned by the studio. For Duvall, this wasn't just about money. It was about the signal the money sent. In any salary negotiation, the number isn't just compensation. It's a statement of perceived worth. And the studio's math said, we value Michael Corleone 5 times more than Tom Hagen. Duvall declined to accept that valuation.
His replacement? George Hamilton, recast in a reduced version of the role. The Tom Hagen character was written out of the script entirely. The film earned $136 million globally, but received mixed critical reviews, many noting the absence of Duvall as a structural void. The market, in the end, agreed with Duvall's self-assessment.
Robert Duvall did not stop at acting. He structured his financial life like a businessman. He founded Butcher's Run Films, his own production company, giving him creative control, back-end profit participation, and the ability to develop projects on his own terms. In Hollywood, a production company is a tax structure, a leverage tool, and an insurance policy against studio dependency. And then there is the land. His 360-acre Burnley farm in the Plains, Virginia, purchased and expanded over decades, represents one of the most tangible wealth-building strategies in his portfolio. Land appreciates. Land doesn't have a publicist. Land doesn't give bad interviews. It simply holds its value and grows.
Duvall chose to stay close to the land, literally and financially. While other actors of his generation burned through fortunes on lifestyle inflation, Duvall bought acres. He also remained selective. No franchise treadmill, no franchise desperation. He appeared in films that interested him. A Civil Action, Secondhand Lions, Get Low, Broken Trail, earning top dollar precisely because he was never overexposed. Scarcity in Hollywood is a pricing strategy. Robert Duvall passed away in February 2026. He was 95 years old. At the time of his death, his estimated net worth stood at $70 million. Let's close the books on that number. He started with $3,000. He built it to $70 million. He turned down $1 million because accepting it would have told the world and himself that he was worth less than he knew. He owned 360 acres of Virginia. He ran his own production company. He won every major award the industry can offer. And he did it without becoming the thing Hollywood most wanted him to be: compliant. That is the full audit. The salary evolution of Robert Duvall from $3,000 on his first paycheck to a $70 million estate
is a masterclass in one principle that every wage earner, every freelancer, every negotiator in any industry should burn into their memory. Know your market rate. Then refuse to accept anything below it. That's WageView. I'm auditing the numbers so you don't have to. Subscribe below. New audit drops every week.